Today has not been going so well. I didn't make my bed. I flunked a test. I haven't done any of my homework. And I'm still in school uniform for some reason. So, my plan to rectify that situation is to rectify my website on the IndieWeb. If you don't already know, the IndieWeb is a place for people of all kinds to make websites of all kinds. They're not necessarily websites designed to make money. They're more like kind of personal and bloggy style websites inspired by those of the 2000s and 90s before the internet kind of got ruined. The problem is, at the moment, my indie website isn't necessarily teeming with amazing content. But today that is gonna change because this derelict, terrible, horrible, blank projects page is gonna turn into something where I can show off all my projects. I don't even know if you can see me from this angle. I really hope you can because I am not refilming this. So I've already mocked up a design of what I would like this web page to look like. And obviously my design, it's super sophisticated. It's built on this rigorous professional platform that, you know, I hear so many UI UX developers raving about all the time. It's called Microsoft Paint. I don't know if you've heard of it. Anyway, this is what I designed. This is what I designed. It's not great. It's not. I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, it's new for me because I don't really know how to code. So that's going to be a challenge. But I've got through my website so far. So you know. Welcome to the part of the video where I show off my bookshelves. Admire. Oh no, I'm hiding the intellectual books. Damn, my intellectual books aren't even here. Failed performativeness might just be as bad as successful performativeness. I need to fix my bookshelves. Go on top like so. I added books. I added books. I added books. Anyway, I did it. I coded the webpage, kind of, slightly. This is what it looks like. I think it's alright. It took me way too long to figure out how to get three of them in a row and have them like equidistant from each other because I don't know, like maths isn't working today. But I did it. Also, if you have any ideas for how I can like film me actually doing the stuff, because I just sit here and I talk about it and then I'm like, alright, I'm gonna do this, and then I come back and I put like a black screen with some text on it and then it's like, alright, I've done it. That's a very entertaining video, and I'm trying to make entertaining like 40-50 minute videos, and this video is going to be like 2 minutes or something. So basically each project is represented with one of these little boxes. Each box was originally supposed to have an image of the project, and then I realized I don't know how I'm supposed to add an image of the website you're on, like look around, or how am I supposed to add an image of some writing, like it's just words. So I ended up just making each box have a title of the project and then a tiny little description of the project, and then a link which is red, and then when you hover over it, it turns green. First project, which is about me writing like tiny 500-word kind of comedy things which aren't really that funny, and they've been rejected from every publication I've sent them to, but they're there, so I thought I might as well put them on the website. And they have a link to another web page called comedy.html, which I need to code in this video. The next project was this website because, I mean, it's a pretty important project. I've spent a decent amount of time on it, and it's under construction. Instead of creating a link for this website, which I could do eventually, it would be cool to have kind of like a devlog on the website so I can see my progress on me making the website. But for now, I've just linked it to the NeoCities profile. If you don't know, NeoCities is where you can like host your indie websites. So I just linked to my NeoCities profile, and somehow my website has like 100 views. I don't know where that's come from. And then when it came to filling out the third box, I realized I actually don't do that much stuff. I kind of had a bit of an existential crisis, realizing I just come home and watch TV. That's what I did today, until I started making this video. But yeah, I kind of need to do stuff, otherwise I'm just gonna rot, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, that's why it says project loading. But I've got a ton of ideas for projects. I want to write write things about space policy. I want to create a website kind of like Duolingo for learning astrobiology called learnastrobiology.com. Don't buy that domain name because I will buy it one day. I also want to create like an app which is kind of like fantasy football, but instead it's for the box office, so you can predict how much money people make at the box office. And I want to write papers, and I want to write a book, and there's a lot of things I want to do. I just need to do them. Anyway, for now, let's have pizza and make the page about my comedy things. I saw One Battle After Another like 5 days ago, and I'm still in a crazy revolutionary mode. It's a really good movie. You should go watch the movie. Anyway, I'm in a hyper mood, which means I'm going to talk about the changes I've made to my website in the most hyper and revolutionary way possible. How this is going to happen, I don't know, but you're just going to have to... I should stop doing this with my hands, but you're going to have to come on the journey with me. Yay! So, a week went by where I did absolutely nothing for my website. I basically just came home, sulked, watched TV, went in the bath, had dinner, and went to bed, and that's pretty much, you know, that was my day after school. That was my after school routine, and there was no real fitting in any time for making websites. And then on the weekend, I went to my grandparents' house, and, you know, I was, you know, mingling. Basically, I did not do anything until Monday. I just found an American football in my bed, but I know how to get it out. The first thing I did on Monday was code a landing page for my comedy writing. I didn't really know what kind of design language I wanted to use for this web page. I kind of wanted to make it look like all the other main web pages, like what I just did for the projects page, but I couldn't really be bothered, and I didn't really know how I was going to do it with all the text I was going to have to put, and it would just kind of be one big block of text in as a boundary, and I thought that wouldn't look that great. So then instead, I decided to make it look like my quantum mechanics section, which, if you saw my last video, which apparently a ton of people are watching that, like, it had 2 views in like 2 weeks, and now all of a sudden it's on like 100 and something, which is pretty crazy, but fair enough YouTube, thank you. But basically, that quantum mechanics page is the world's most simplest web page. It's pretty embarrassing. It's like, yeah, it's literally just straight HTML. There's barely any CSS used. There's actually, no, to be fair, there's a weird amount of CSS used for, like, if you just look at it, you would not think there's any CSS used, but it kind of took me a long time. So I just decided to use the same exact styling, so I just copy and pasted the CSS for the quantum mechanics webpage for my comedy writing webpage. And I started, you know, typing, describing. I've written 2 of these weird comedy pieces, so I put them there, and I put links to HTML pages, which I had not yet created, and gave descriptions of each one, and like why you should click on it and why I'm writing all the comedy stuff. Really, I should put more stuff on there. So here is what that looks like. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's something, and that's okay. Next up was creating the web pages for my tiny little comedy things. So the first one that I did is called iDerek, and it's kind of like an AI satire thing. So when, you know, the Rabbit R1s and the Humane AI pins and that weird like friend bracelet thing, so when they were coming out, I wrote iDerek, and it's about kind of an AI friend called Derek who just accompanies you at all times. It's not very good. I submitted it to some places, they didn't accept it. So now it's here. The second piece I wrote was a Wikipedia page for a fictional person called Clive Mytrace. So I thought, what if just like an average guy, or like an average American guy, because an average American guy's life is not the life of an average guy, but like, what if an average guy had a Wikipedia page, and if it was funny? So that's what I tried to do with that. I submitted it places again, and it didn't get in. Even though I do think this one, like, honestly, I actually think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of cool. But McSweeney's did not, so c'est la vie. I'm thinking of writing other Wikipedia pages for random, regular people who don't exist. If you have any ideas for fictional people who I could write Wikipedia pages about, then let me know in the comments, because I really like Wikipedia, and I really like writing about fake people on Wikipedia for some reason. Well, I believe that's the end of the video. If you have any video ideas, then let me know. If you have any ideas of what I should do with my website, let me know. I still have a whole page on my sidebar, the blog page, which I've done nothing with. I have some ideas for blog articles, and I've kind of written some which I could put on there, but I'm unsure as to how to make a blog with HTML and CSS. If you have any tutorials, or if you could just give me any tips for that, that'll be cool. I also want to make videos that aren't indie web related. Like, I do lots of cool stuff, or like at least I want to do cool stuff, but I want to post them to YouTube. And I don't know if you guys would be interested in them. But then again, there's only like 22 subscribers, so I guess I could just post whatever I want. But yeah, goodbye.